What's up, everybody? Time for another deep dive into the real estate market, zip code by zip code. I'm Avi. I live in beautiful Santa Barbara, California, but this time we're going to dive into Goleta. This area, this zip code 93117, is about a 15-minute drive from downtown Santa Barbara. It's right next to UCSB. There's a bunch of area that envelops the bluff. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dive in to looking at what's going on in the market in Goleta, both single-family homes, condos, rentals. We have a cool listing that's under contract there, and we have a listing that's about to close. Or we have an active listing as well. That's a really awesome, beautiful home. So let's take a look and let's dive into what's going on with home values. So let's take a look first at the year over year home values for 93117. One thing that was interesting, I did the Mesa 93109. I also did downtown Santa Barbara 93101, and both of those were down about 3+% year over year for the average home price. Things are so different, zip code by zip code, market by market. The market here is completely different than the market in Texas, and the national news tries to paint this picture that all the markets are doing one thing. But let's see, the stats don't lie, and obviously the stats tell us here we're up 0.5% year over year in Goleta. There's so many people moving to Goleta. Goleta has great schools. Obviously, the University of California, Santa Barbara is the biggest employer in all of Santa Barbara. So a lot of people are moving there for work. There's people that are transient that like to spend half the year there, whether their home state or home country is too hot, too cold. And the market stayed really strong, even when the national market is doing other things, even when this other Santa Barbara markets are moving in a different direction. It's interesting to see that this is still up, even though it's very minuscule gains year over year. It's up 0.5%. $1.3 million. I remember when I first started in real estate here in Goleta back in 2018, 2019, there was a lot of inventory for single family homes in good condition under $1 million. I sold a nice home. I remember, I think it was right before COVID, and we ended up closing at 750, 775. And that just isn't the case anymore. So here's where the 93117 lies. If you take a look, this is Goleta, North Goleta. It encompasses Isla Vista and also wraps a way up north into where there's Coastal National Park. And you'll see as well, there's a bunch of mega mansions and really unique properties. Obviously, it must skew the data slightly, but there's not as many of those properties, but there are a handful listed currently for sale, like James Cameron's mega compound estate, which is kind of by Gaviota, El Cap area. And it's these, beautiful compounds in a lot of nature, very secluded. So let's take a look at what's been going on in the market there. Let's take a look at the charts. This chart follows very similar to the Santa Barbara market. We saw obviously before COVID, there was incremental gains year over year. This is kind of when I got into the market in late 18, early 19. The average price for a single family home there was in the mid 800s. This is all homes, actually. This is homes and condos, and I can switch it to single family homes. Boom, we see COVID explode, and then we see interest rates squeeze, and now we're kind of back on the rise. Let's look at the 1 year chart. So at a year ago at this time, we saw a decrease as interest rates continue to squeeze. Here was where that lack of inventory due to the high interest rates really caused less and less homes to be for sale. A lot of cash came into the marketplace. We saw, 30 to 40% of transactions being done in cash. And now it's kind of on the uptick here where we are, higher, obviously just slightly to where we started a year ago at 1.3 million compared to right under 1.3 million. This is all homes. Let's do single family homes. Looks about exactly the same. The average price for a single family home, though, when you don't include condos, is now at 1.4 for even Goleta, which is definitely astounding to think that, when properties, let's take a look 5 years ago, an average price of a single family home was well under $1 million at 925. So we saw that huge gain, and now we're down and rising back up. Let's take a look at the condo market. 5 years follows basically the exact same trajectory, slight dip. The dip seems like it was less apparent than the single family homes. And I feel like the gains and the dips for condos, it stays a little bit steadier. Obviously, there's a little bit more demand for single family homes because people really want a house of their own. Let's take a look at the 1 year trajectory. Yep. So we started the year out, average price for a single family or for a condo in Goleta right under 800K. It dipped to almost just above 760, and now it's been steadily on the rise, and we're just a little bit higher than where we started. 782, versus 792. So very substantial gain, but it's a gain nonetheless. And for those people that got in at the beginning part of the year, especially if their interest rate is less than it is now, they're probably sitting pretty and feeling happy that they were able to get in when they got in. Let's look at the rental market right now. This obviously encompasses a lot of student rentals, a lot of more entry-level rentals. I thought this was interesting where the median rent, this is not the same as the median rent in 93101. Make sure to watch that video if you're interested in downtown and you haven't yet. The month over month change, we're up month over month. Obviously, a lot of students have come back into town. There's more demand seasonally when it comes to September, October, August, when the students all come back. Year over year change, though, that is significant for sure. We saw that as well in downtown. It was almost down like $1,000 year over year. 37 available rentals on Zillow just show that there is not much inventory for all the different students, faculty, families, all sorts of people that want to find a rental in Goleta. But I thought this was interesting too. There's a lot more rental properties in 93117 that are in the entry level, the 3,000 and above under. Obviously, the majority of the rentals still lie 5,000 north. But in other markets like the Mesa, like downtown, you see so much less inventory in that kind of entry level, that $2,000 range. Median price. So this year is the bottom, this chart right here, the dark blue. And last year is the lighter blue. They kind of follow the trajectory a little bit. Oh, that's an inverse right there. I guess last year at this time at March, the median rent price was $6,500 last year and March. That just shows that was, before interest rates really squeezed up. There was a lot more people that were priced out of homes that were just looking for rentals. And obviously that's dipped significantly for the rental price. It's still saying that the market temperature is cool, probably just because it's down year over year. But yeah, once again, compared to the national average, it's still about twice the cost of rent on average if you want to live in 93117 compared to the rest of the United States. Let's take a look at what's currently on the market. Let's take a look at what's for sale. So these properties in Gaviota, these Hollister Ranch properties, that's a really limited access community which has an amazing surf break, and a lot of people will buy a property there or even a parcel there just to get access to the surf there. So we see stuff, $5 million, $7 million. Here's James Cameron's property, 89 Hollister Ranch Road for $33 million. It'll be interesting to see how long that takes to sell. Obviously, there's not a lot of people in the marketplace for such a unique property that's so remote and at that price point. There's properties in the mid twos with a lot of land, and this is kind of a little more entry level on Day Road. This is our listing on Island Oak. I'm going to break that one down. Take a look. There's some condos. It's a 1-bedroom condo for under $700,000. Another 1-bedroom condo that just came back to the market under $600,000. The Morton Bay units are 55 and up community, so there's obviously some options there for retirees. This Nectarine one is a little 1-bedroom in Old Town Goleta. This one in Silkberry, that's in Stork Ranch. I have one under contract right there. They had to do a price reduction there. Let's take a look at the details. Things when they're positioned a little high or not able to get the exposure they need marketing wise, they're definitely sitting, and people are realizing that there's a little bit more potential leeway to negotiate. Let's see, this one's been on the market 50 days. It's come back and off and on the market, and they originally started at 1.8 and they're down to 1.6. $45 million house, up north, another $25 million house. So here's another entry level one on Day, 1,250, and then another one at right under $1 million. Let's see, 2-bedroom, 1-bath though, 34 days on market, kind of a unique property type and layout. Not as many people in the market. People want more beds and baths. Let's take a look at our Island Oak. I'm going to deep dive into this one. This listing, we did a $200,000 price cut. Obviously, we didn't get an offer that we liked within the first 30 days. This one is in a beautiful gated community. The property is so dialed in. We've had a lot of good showings, but obviously, the market is what the market is. And maybe we would have gotten a full price offer a handful of months ago when there's less inventory and more people who are ready, willing, and able to spend this kind of money. But when interest rates go up, a lot of people are either borrowing from their stock accounts at this price point and they're not able to borrow at the same rate, or they've taken hits in their other investment asset classes. So we just have to be, careful about how we price it. So we did that price reduction. It's a 3-bed, 4-bath, almost 3,000 square feet, gated community. Everything is done so well. Massive closets, It's just one of those houses that you just bring your toothbrush to. It's ready to move in. Even the furniture is potentially for sale. And it just backs up to this really beautiful open space. Look at the sunset photos that we got there, hanging out. Imagine just watching, having a glass of wine, watching the fireplace as the sun dips down behind the open space. But yeah, guys, that's kind of my main takes for Goleta. Very interesting to see that the market is not down there when it is down in other parts of Santa Barbara year to date. I mean, it just goes to show you, I've said it once and I'm going to continue to say it. Each marketplace here is so unique. You have to really look at the stats, zip code by zip code, depending on where you're looking to buy, rent, sell. It's all just unique, and it doesn't affect the nationwide headlines that say, oh, the housing market's going to crash. Oh, there's no one wanting to buy a house right now. It's a terrible time to sell. Each zip code is going to reflect different statistics, and the statistics are the only thing that can really tell the truth, not the national headlines. So if you have questions about whether you should buy, sell, invest, find a rental in 93117, I'm here to help. I'm a Goleta expert. I love Goleta. I love selling houses in Goleta. I lived there obviously when I went to UCSB, and I love hanging out there and going to the beaches, the different amazing restaurants, all the open space and nature. I have a lot of videos on Goleta on my YouTube channel. So if you want to dive into best places, best things to do, great homes for sale in Goleta, feel free to look those up on my channel. And until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. This is Avi signing off. Make it a great day. See you on the next one.